The evil person knows himself, even if no one identifies him. You're welcome to another video. Good morning to all my viewers. Today we'll do one language. As promised, in this episode we shall go back to the story of Amity Laboratory, which I opened back around 1993. Before then, I'll show you two pieces of evidence concerning my previous stories. Sorry to say that I'm not always able to organize myself well, like I've always said. When I come across any evidence, I will show it as time goes on. I talked of working in the Ildupeju in Teju Hospital before, where I met Diane Kiswell. This was my identity card, if you like. I don't think there's any need to read it. I've preserved it till today. I also mentioned I went to Libya and I was asked to come back for a visa. People could doubt my story. This is my certificate stamped with Libyan embassy, embassy of Tripoli. This is my original certificate. You can see the Tripoli embassy stamped on it. So let's go that way, because if I have to show these things, pieces of evidence along with their story, sometimes it's difficult for me. It's not always possible for me. The last sentence or the last few words concerning the Amity Laboratory story was, let's see, I interviewed and took 3 girls. Yes, I didn't interview them alone. I did it with Mr. Atobra, Mr. Frimpong, Kofi Frimpong himself, the father of Martin Frimpong, who is presently managing it and who gave me a sack letter. So Kofi Frimpong, the father of Martin Frimpong, myself, and then a friend and a schoolmate, Mr. Paul Barnier. I even have the interview results, but I don't know where I placed them. So let me repeat again. I interviewed and took 3 of them. I won't call their names because it's not. I don't think it's proper, because they are now married, and exposing them like that wouldn't be nice. Even though they were stubborn towards me, and even they rebelled towards me, except one of them, M, whom I loved very much, and she loved me very much. I even have a picture. But so let me say M, C, and A, who later got admission to the Kwame Nkrumah University. So A later got an admission to the Kwame Nkrumah University. Her results were not good. They were not even near me. But sometimes it depends where you work. If there is a quota in the university for the staff, and it gets to you, your daughter or son can go. See, so you can see people who are outside who haven't got a university certificate, and yet they are far better than people who are graduates, university graduates. Okay. And A, who later got admission to Tech, that's Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. The mother was a nurse working there. Working there. M later went abroad. Mr. Frimpong took C. Okay, I will mention here. C was Constance. Sorry, I've broken my promise. Uh, uh, Mr. Frimpong took Constance as a girlfriend. She was very stubborn. A reliable source informed me he had, in fact, slept with all of them. That's why I said I don't want to mention it. Mhm. His friends, his close friends who were with me in the lab, of course, I couldn't go to the bedroom to see how he was. No, no, no. See, he has slept with all of them. This is something I had resisted doing. Yes, I could have done that. I could have done that even before Mr. Frimpong, but I don't think it's a nice thing because I was not married, I was single, and I was again their boss. Um, uh, I didn't like those things. Even when I was in my own lab alone, I didn't. And the women were complaining. Okay. In fact, slept with all of them. This is something I had resisted doing. Yes. Uh, they had all. What did I hear? They are all giving me the signals earlier. Yes. They had. What word did I use? I can't know. I can't find the word myself. Okay, I cancelled it. They had given, yes, I cancelled that word. They had given me the signals earlier. Yes, all of them, each one of them. They had given me the signals that they wouldn't mind. Then came disrespect. Then came disrespect. Later, uh, more or less rebellion. Then came disrespect. More or less rebellion. That was after Kofi Frimpong slept with them. Then later they were they respected me a lot. Then disrespect. Then rebellion. Mm. And I later and I left. So I left Amity for him. After me, he had taken a Cape Coast trained young man there called Owusu. Uh, a short time afterwards, he also left. Yes. You see, when you begin to do evil things, people can't stay with you. You see, if I left, how could that young man, somebody even younger than me, stay there, knowing that he came and met them and were sleeping with him? So he also left. The laboratory forms I had painstakingly prepared, he converted into his own name and opened a lab on the Kumasi Airport Road. Full stop. Amity Laboratory therefore collapsed. Mr. Frimpong, the womanizer, later went bankrupt. It didn't completely collapse, but because I think after some time, when MedLab took it after that, and maybe Mr. Tobra himself was called in to help as the only professional at that time. So, but let me continue. It later collapsed. Mr. Frimpong, the womanizer, later went bankrupt. He later died. Yes, he later died. Uh, and it was believed he had poisoned himself. From all pieces of evidence, it was believed he had poisoned himself. Uh, from laboratory tests, they made the urea level. From laboratory tests, the urea level was excessively high. I think because before his death, they checked the urea, it was excessively high. It couldn't be measured. His liver was said to have been damaged. Such is life. I later found him myself with Nathaniel, at the Extern Medical Laboratory at Ashama. So you can see I actually moved about. So David was right for describing me as, going through 20 labs. Okay, or half right. Laboratory at Ashama. But viewers will see that, no, I had to. Maybe that's how God made me. I don't tolerate nonsense and misbehavior. I'm not sure. I had to move about. Mm. Laboratory at Ashama. Nat was a senior of mine in the lab school, and he helped me. I went to him when he was in Maiduguri and I was in Lagos. When I was in distress, I went to him unannounced, and he helped me. Uh, so, Nat, thank you. Mm. So, uh, I later found myself with Nat at the extern laboratory at Ashama. Two of my mates, Aglo and Kofi Nkrumah, were with him. They were working with him. Mm. So a relatively small lab. Look, he had qualified people. He, Nkrumah, Kofi Nkrumah, and Aglo. Then I came to add. Then there was another younger man. All of us trained with certificates. In David's case, it was not like that. Mm. Two of my mates, Aglo and Kwame Nkrumah, Kofi Nkrumah and Kofi Nkrumah, pardon me for slip of tongue, Kofi Nkrumah were with him. They were using an archaic American-made calorimeter, which was bizarre. Hemoglobin results, while no, which was given bizarre hemoglobin results. Which was given bizarre hemoglobin results, while a nicer and more modern one was kept in stock, lying somewhere. Some Sooner after I went there, they brought out this new one to show to me. Apparently, they could not calibrate it. It's not easy. It's not easy even today. It's not everyone who can calibrate a new calorimeter. But even today, it doesn't exist. We all use what we used to call blood analyzer. Everything straight. This new one to show to me. Apparently, they couldn't calibrate it. I did. I left the graph paper. Maybe Nat didn't show it to all of them or they didn't have time. I don't know. I left the graph paper on the bench in the laboratory. It was taken by the director, i.e. Nat. This was confirmed by Cordelia, his then receptionist. Nat denied it. I went back to tell Cordelia, and she insisted that Nat had taken it, and I forgot about it. Like I said, Nat, I have nothing to do with not much to do with you. I have no grievances with you. I remember when you helped me, and that is paramount. I thank you, still thank you. Okay, and she insisted. I forgot about it. I remember during my suffering days in Nigeria, I had gone to Nat in Maiduguri. He helped me financially back then, willingly. He helped me financially back then, willingly. 3 months, and I left Nat and came to Kumasi, or rather, Sophia, Asamai, on the Barkasi route. I won't go too long, but it was an agenda. I had to work there for some time, maybe come back. There was a girl I wanted to marry, and she said she had a boyfriend. I gave her grace, and I should give her grace. I gave her grace. 3 months when I went. But she was the worst of women I ever came across. I did my own private lab work there for some time and later saw Dr. Dr. Bafo of Ajiman Memorial Clinic, adjacent to the former Kotoko Secretariat at Edum. Yes, when I came back to Ashama, I opened a small lab there. I was also testing people for this after Nat's place. I think I have Nat's appointment letter with me. He was a pediatrician at Cath, but came to his private clinic in his spare time. Full stop. With my microscope and other accessories, I was given a small room to operate as a laboratory. It will prevent him from sending patients out for routine lab investigations. The income was to be mine. Yes, he said the income was to be mine. He didn't need anything. But he broke his promise. I'm sorry. He had told me that for every 20 patients he saw, 15 would come for lab tests. Lab tests were very important in those days. So I wouldn't say he was wrong because almost everything was backed by lab tests. So he was not wrong to say he could give me 20 out of 15 out of every 20 patients just to support me. And it never worked. Yes, it never worked. Or no, it never worked. I later discovered that his wife, who was a trained nurse, used to work with him. She did not like me, and I knew it. Yes, the woman didn't like me, just like Dr. Abake. But here it was not romantic. Hmm? You know, in some parts of the country, women control their husbands a lot. Why do you give this young man money, so much money, and whatnot? So, I don't know. Hmm? She did not like me, and I knew it. There were days when I would wait for hours only to have just one or two cases only. Yes. After the promise, I came up in the lab, but I'll wait and wait and wait. And then if he likes, he give me one patient, two patients. What would that do to me? Nothing. Poor woman. You see what I've gone through. Yet, I could see the patients were more than 20. Maybe that's the kind of star I have. Hmm? People don't like somebody who is, in our local Ghana, language, we say sabe sabe or too known. When you want to know everything. Somebody have told me before. When you want to know everything, resist everything, fight everything, oh, my friend, you will suffer, tire. Hmm? Uh-huh. Just one or two cases. Yet, I could see the patients were more than 20, far more. Hmm? I gathered he was secretly opening a larger hospital near Santasi with a bigger lab. Yes, I say secretly because he never informed me, even though he probably wanted to move there with me. Or maybe he was trying to not to give me work so that I would get money and run away and open my own lab or something. So we should go there together. I don't know. He alone can tell. Maybe the wife advised him. I don't know. Maybe he alone can tell. So a larger hospital near Santansi with a bigger lab, and I believe he's still there. He probably wanted me to work there, but the beginning wasn't good in the first place. So the way he went against his promise wasn't good in the first place. And I was financially hard up. Can you imagine? I couldn't fend for myself because one patient, two patients a day, when he likes, no good bachel. I finally left there after about 5 years. So you see, I worked there for 5 years. Oh, well, remember an incident there. Fed up with people's disappointments, I thought the only way out was to open my own laboratory. Then we go to 21st April, I suppose 19, I started on December 21st. So 21st, it will be 21st April 2002. I think that's it. So 21st April 2004. Yeah, 2002. When should this lab be? No. Where? Where should this lab be? That's my lab, the lab that I intend to open. I thought of Obuasi. I thought of going to Obuasi, that's from Kumasi. My elder friend, Mr. Adai of Addis Medical Laboratory, had a private lab there already, in Obuasi already. Addis Medical Lab was the one whom Asante Ajay pushed like this after taking his microtome. I mentioned him before. So yeah, he was a friend too. He had a lab in Obuasi already. So where should mine be? He suggested to me to go to Konongo. The clinic there had no laboratory, and that was right. and there wasn't any private lab there either. Finally, I came to Konogu looking for a place. I was told I could get an unoccupied stall in the market. However, had to contact the district assembly or council. I did. I was told to write an application letter. I could not just be allowed to operate a laboratory like that without the assembly verifying my qualification. That's what they told me. So, no, the laboratory is not like a supermarket or a store where you can sell anything and put your relations there. Uh, they then referred my letter to the district ministry of health. I know my colleagues did not go through this procedure at the time. I don't think they did. Okay. The Ministry of Health had to send an inspection team to see what equipment I had. They never did so for about 3 months. Frustrated, I saw the then district medical officer, a Dutch woman called Dr. De Graft. The old people in Kunugu will know her. So he was the district medical officer, Dr. De Graft. If she's alive, she may be working. She's since left for Netherlands. Called De Graft. I spoke with annoyance to her. I got frustrated because 3 months waiting. No, maybe that's what David was right by saying I'm temperamental. Why shouldn't I be temperamental when I've exhausted my patience? That was when she told me they were trying to open a lab in the clinic. Yes, she told me they were trying to open a lab in the clinic. Why don't you come to work there? She asked me. With annoyance, I turned down this offer. If you wanted to give me, why didn't you tell me earlier? And made me prepare for a place when to ask for permission and whatnot. Earlier attempts to reinstate Earlier attempts to be reinstated with the ministry had failed, yeah. And Ministry of Health, I tried it and it failed. But now I got it very cheaply. But I didn't realize it. I got annoyed because the first one failed and I said no. So that's how God works. Wonderful. Had failed. I had traveled from Kumasi to Accra several times concerning this matter. Yes. That was why I finally decided to go private. So this offer came rather unexpectedly. We are now going to another story altogether. Isaac at the ministries, after that's my struggle to get into the ministry, there was one man called Isaac. He was in charge of employments at the ministry. He was very powerful. He came during Rawlins's regime. Started to go private. He was very notorious. People knew him very well. I believe he's listening. So this offer came rather unexpectedly. Isaac at the ministries at the time had given flimsy excuses to me for the ministry's inability to absorb me. I think he wanted cash, and which I didn't have. At this time, I had considered myself rather too old. So when the graph called me, I said, no, I'm too old. I can't come and be rubbing shoulders with the young ones. Let me open my own lab and then have my peace of mind. So at this time, I considered myself rather too old. Even now, 70, I don't see myself old. So you can see how man's mind changes. To avoid unnecessary confrontation, I will consider myself too old to avoid unnecessary confrontations with younger ones in the lab. I should go private. Finally, the so-called inspection team came. The only technical person there was Patrick Aqua. He's still alive, probably with the ministry soon. About 15 years my junior. Yes. I was given an approval letter stating the scope of work I could do. This was not This was not in the assembly controlled market. This was not in the market. This was not in the market. It was a private building. Anymore. This was not private in the market anymore. I got another place, an uncompleted building in the Freetown suburb of Konongo. The people of Konongo know it. I got an I got an announcement made by way of a loudspeaker in a car. Yes, there were no FM stations in Konongo. Somebody used to go around with a car to announce, give announcement to the whole town, go around the whole town, announce here, go and stand there, announce, go and stand there, and announce like that. There was no FM station. And annoyingly, because of that, he used to gather the announcements together because going one after the other wouldn't fetch him any money. So you fetch money is plenty. Then go and stand here, make a number of announcements, go there, make a number of announcements like that. The patronage was not encouraging. The townspeople were not used to attending private laboratories. Frustrated, I found myself a part-time job doing at Anima Medical Center at Emina. At Animwa, sorry. I found myself a part-time job doing at Animwa Medical Center at Emina, Kumasi. Konongo patients used to come there. They saw my importance and I left and came back to Konongo. So when they were not coming, I wondered so that this man is there. So this man may be genuine. But then it still didn't help. Of course, the conditions of service were not good, even though I was to stay there and work permanently. While here at Emina Kumasi, I was also doing a course in Arabic at the Ghana Institute of Languages, GIL. Do I have the paper? I've put it somewhere. I'll get it later. My identity card there. Ghana Institute of Languages, GIL. Back, full stop. Back to my laboratory in Konongo, things had improved a bit. A pharmacy shop, Stelex Pharmacy. Stelex Pharmacy is still there. Did direct patients to me a lot. So Stelex, Mr. Alex, thank you. No matter how bad differences we have, he was directing patients to me. And he was not taking cover. I repeat, he wasn't taking any, what do you call it, commission? No. Patients to me. Stella Pharmacy did direct patients to me a lot. He was seeing patients and selling medicines to them. So he would like to know what was worrying them, malaria or typhoid or what, worms or what not. And that was good of him. Because we see people who have not gone to school, even giving injections. So if a qualified pharmacy wants to know what is wrong with the patient, what's wrong with it, so that people like Yao come under the cover of the cousin's certificate and be giving people injection in a cubicle left reserved for him solely. Okay. Patients to me a lot. Some of the workers even advised me to stop the course at the GIL. Yes, some of Mr. Alexis' workers said, "Oh, we send patients, we are not there. What course are you doing? Stop it." But I think that was ill advice. It wasn't good advice. After paying monies and wanted to study Arabic, to study my Quran well, you said I should stop it. No, I didn't stop. The workers even advised me to stop the course at GIL because patients used to come in my absence. True to God, there was no financial deal between us as such, yes. The pharmacist himself still works in Agogo. He might have resigned now. He used to work at Agogo and come there to his pharmacy shop. Mm. At Agogo Hospital, as I write, yes, as I wrote, but as I read now, I don't think she's there. 20 something years, he must have retired. As I write, I'm thankful to him. Yes, Alex, I throw my salute. Don't think that I'm not grateful. Silence doesn't mean ungratefulness. Uh, later, once a while, I would also get a patient from Dasibre Pharmacy. It was also a pharmacy, also in Konongo. So these were the ones giving me small tests. Pregnancy tests, like I say, was something done commonly in those days, and it was solely done by laboratories. Eyes were not open enough for somebody to go and buy the agents and tests. There were problems, however. I was by this time operating in a small stall at the lorry station in the GPRU building. The story is long. If I want to go into it, I will stop this total. So it will be another story someday. Uh, the stall was the first floor. The stall was at the first floor, the last room southwest, facing eastwards, facing the sun. That is away from the station proper. At the back of that, you see the Konongo station, Lorry Park. The old ones knew me, and they can ascertain to that. Away from the Konongo station proper, I worked and slept there for a little over 3 years. Can you imagine? And Tayaman, somebody called me Tayaman. No room. So I stayed in one room, worked there, secretly sleep there. Yes, this is my history. And I'll go to uh, for to when I'm in inconvenience, I go outside to do it. I worked and slept there for a little while. 3 years, for 3 years. For a little over 3 years, I'm sorry. My landlady at Freetown, a badly behaved woman, was not the right person to be dealing with. She was quarrelsome, and I moved out to the station after about 9 months. Yes. I will reserve my comment till I read this piece. Then the next time, I paused for some time and then continued again on the 25th of uh, April. You remember I started again at 21st of April or so. I don't know the date. Okay, viewers know it because I mentioned it already. I think 21st April. Then I stopped and I continued 25th of April. So I would write pause, write pause, write pause. Uh, she had been introduced to me by a woman called Alice, who, without doubt, had expected some kind of amorous relationship with me. Yes, that's my problem. That's my problem. People questioned why she linked me up with the landlady called Ikuya Achan. She said she had an uncompleted building and it was all trouble. All her promises were broken. So there was no even bathroom, no toilet, nothing. Apart, he was going to fix them in place. He never did. This is Sule Imoro. And people say I fight, but that's my style. Pardon me to say that. May God forgive me for saying that, but God knows how to put people on trial. uh, Landlady called Ekuya Achan. Almost the whole town knew of her bad character. I didn't know, I was a stranger. She was a former convict who got impregnated in the prison by a prison warden. Yes, everybody knew it. And gave birth there. She was in prison. She was there, and the prison wardens were having a bite of her cake from time to time. And she gave birth there. The child is still there, if I'm not mistaken. Hmm? She gave birth there in the prison. Sorry. Alice had housed me in her room for some days. I wasn't ready to propose love to her. That was not my immediate goal. That's why I preferred to move out to the station. Yes, that's why I preferred to move out to the station. Contrary to agreement, Ekuyacha never included toilet and bath within within the building or within the ongoing building. She had converted the two into a room, rather, therefore, had to wake up at dawn to attend the public toilet and to return home to bath outside. Yes, I've gone through all these things. When she saw her honor, when she saw her behavior was unacceptable, she wanted to eject me without refunding a pesewa to me. Her method of doing so was rather crude. Mm. One morning, between 4 and 5 a.m., that's when I was supposed to bath, or she came from her other house to confront me. I had just returned from toilet. Let me use the word, pardon me. I had just returned from toilet with only a boxer shorts on. Shouting on top of her voice, she stood at the entrance of the gate. I came out of the house to meet her, and I was higher up on a few steps. It was along the staircase. I was up and she was down. Mm. She immediately held my boxer shorts. Mm. In other words, she was down, and so her face was around my thighs, there about above my thighs. She immediately held my boxer shorts below my navel and attempted to strip me naked. I don't know why these women are always behaving like that. My God, some people are doubting. Are you impotent? Are you this? Are you that? Yes, no. Hmm? Pardon me. I held her two arms up to prevent that. So when she came, she held me. I also, look at me, I held the hands up like this. I could have pushed her to her death or to have an injury because she would fall on her. But I restrained myself. I left it like that because I wouldn't allow her to strip me naked. How? Okay. Uh, with my two hands up to prevent that, I could have I could have forcefully pushed her to fall on the back of her head, and the consequences would have been disastrous. I restrained myself and ended there. He said, "Who bumi, who bumi, who bumi, me ko catch the police, who bumi, who bumi, who bumi, me ko catch the police." It's a common thing in Ashanti region. Any small thing, they run to the police. Mm. You came to attack me. I held you. I had never touched you. How can I beat you with my two arms holding you? Then when I left you, you say, "Who will me? Who will me? Are you beating me? Are you beating me? I'm going to tell the police." Can you imagine? This is an ex-convict, remember, who got impregnated in the prison and gave birth in the prison. And Alice never told me that. Apparently, she was eager to help me to get somewhere to start my lab. I don't blame her. She also has gone abroad and I don't think she's been back yet. Ended there. Who will me? Who will me? Make a country police, meaning you are beating me. You are beating me. I'm going to report to the police. And true to her word, she went. She left me and rushed to the police station early morning like that. Then she left. I bathed immediately and got dressed up and followed to the police station. I wouldn't let them to come and arrest me. So I also bathed immediately and left and went there. We were directed to see one Sergeant Donko. I explained myself, and the sergeant asked her to refund the balance of my money if she didn't want me in the house. So that saved me. She paid in installments over a period of about 4 months. Small money. It's common here in Ghana. We are cheats. We say Nigerians are evil. We are more evil. We kill silently, slowly. Nigerians may kill violently, openly, silently, openly, and violently. Oh, no, violently, openly. Uh, and then Ghanaians will kill slowly, silently, wickedly, in a wicked manner, secretly. So over 4 months, how would I do with the money? It can't do anything. It can't do anything. She paid in installments over a period of about 4 months to the sergeant, who then gave me my money. In installment, he paid to the sergeant, I'll go and collect. Then she was running to the police. She wanted me to lose everything. So if the police came to me, you know, I couldn't talk, and they say, come out. I was wise enough to run there and also report. But then it was too small to rent another place. Yes, how could I? Luckily, someone was ready to sublet his empty room at the station for me. Yes, that's how God works. Every difficulty, there is a remedy. Inama al usru yusran. Inama al usru yusran. Full stop. I think we should stop here. We should stop here and continue later. When we come, we start with 3 years at the station. And thank you very much. Illa laka ibaba.